She's bringing instant coffee. There will be no electricity. There will be no makeup. There will be no modern conveniences. What will you do there? I asked her. She's a nurse. She said, we will give them medicine. We will give them clothing. And most importantly, we will give them good news. And I, the ordained minister of several years, asked this question. Can you guess what I asked her? What good news is that? Take that out, Kathy. It's so embarrassing. Her answer, of course, was the good news of my faith. It may happen that today or tomorrow or next year, someone will ask you about yours. Someone will ask you, where do you go to church? What do you get out of church? How do you understand the Bible? How is it that you find ways to seek the best in every situation? You're always smiling. You always look so happy. You're so optimistic. How is it that the things that once bothered you no longer do? How do you answer those questions? If you've ever taken a 4T class, you know that it can be a very powerful experience. The 4Ts are the tithing of time, talents, and treasure. After my board president, Steve, took the class, his life changed. He lightened up, he got clear about what he wanted and the direction of his life, and his prosperity grew on all fronts in his life. He became a 4T evangelist. If he were to distill his message into simple steps, they would be the same steps outlined in Rick Warren's book. And let me share them. How to be ready for the questions. First, I share what my life was like before my faith walk. Second, I talk about how I realized that I needed faith or God. Thirdly, my commitment to my faith. And finally, the difference that it has made in my life. Now, I've distilled the chapter on my personal mission in this book down to this, be ready, and these 4 simple steps. But I want to tell you why. Because no matter where I go, no matter where you go, no matter what you read, no matter who you come up against, they are your family. No matter what. No matter how their thoughts might be in opposition to your own. No matter how judgmental they might be, no matter how painful it may be, it's still my brother and still my sister. Are you with me? And somehow, my job in my faith walk is to find a way to see the good. Because we do it here and we talk about it every Sunday morning, don't we? That no matter what comes up, I'm going to learn to see the good in it. I'm going to learn to find the blessing in it. I'm going to learn to lift up that person. I don't agree with this brother's theology. Doesn't matter. He's going to have his theology. But is he my brother? He is my brother. Does he have wisdom to share? Most certainly he has wisdom to share. If I were sitting across the table from him, would I evangelize? I might. I just might. But I think what I wanted to share with you is that you too will have opportunities in the days and weeks and months and years ahead because of the strength of your faith and the strength of your character. You will have opportunities to be a blessing. Somebody's going to ask you some questions, and you are going to respond to them with love and wisdom because of who you are. And you know, what I love in this beautiful book, this beautiful collection of stories, I love that in the end, after all the trials, after the yearnings, after the pestilence and the floods and the pain and the walking through the desert and the terror of these stories in the Old Testament, things work out in the end. Things work out. There's a garden, and there are trees on either side of the river in the garden, and the trees are for the healing of the nations, not the healing of me, the healing of all of us. And there's a verse here from Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. And it says, "There is no longer Jew or Greek. There is no longer slave or free. There is no longer male and female, for all of you are one in Christ Jesus." I think that was the mission and the vision and the word of Jesus. The Great Commission is to love your neighbor fiercely. And our mission in the world is to do that in whatever path we lead, whatever path we walk, whatever gift we bring to the walk. It's to love God and to love your neighbor fiercely. I think it was John Shelby Spong who said, "Love wastefully. Let it spill over." So friends, thank you for hanging in there with me through, you might have been holding your breath for a moment. Steve even said to me, you don't have to even speak to that book, but it's a book that's out there. It's a book that your friends and family may have read. It's a book that has some good messages in it. You might not want to buy the book, but you might want to, because you know what? There's your brother. In many, many different shapes and sizes, there's your brother. Recognize him when you go into the world today, and be ready because you're going to be asked. God bless us all. Thank you.